What's good, fam? Straight up, I got some wild new info today. So new it might change how you look at the whole Drake versus Kendrick beef. I know y'all tired of hearing Drake's name every 2 minutes, but this time, bro is out here trying to rewrite the rulebook for hip hop as we know it, and it's getting ugly. I'm not talking about the same old back and forth. Drake just filed a lawsuit against Universal Music Group, making claims about Kendrick's Super Bowl performance of Not Like Us that'll have you questioning if Aubrey even like rap anymore, or if he trying to take his Karen powers to Super Saiyan levels. And fam, Drake was one shade away from outright name dropping Kendrick's kids in a way nobody saw coming. Stay locked, cause what's about to drop next might just be the end of Drake as you know him. Alright, let's talk about the actual lawsuit. Drake took his feelings up to the big dogs at Universal Music Group. My man is actually claiming UMG allowed Kendrick's Not Like Us to get performed at the biggest sports event of the year, the Super Bowl, just to knock down his name, to straight up assassinate his character in front of millions. You know, you gotta be feeling all types of hurt to run to your lawyers like that instead of settling it on wax. For years, hip-hop's been about handling beef where it started, in music. But Drake, he wanna bring the courts into it now. That's peak Karen behavior. I ain't ever seen it get this corny from the Sixth God. He's talking, they trying to destroy me after that halftime show, after the Grammys, man. That ain't the move at all. Universal didn't even break a sweat. They hit back saying all them claims are flaky, nothing but an attack on artistic freedom. Like imagine Kendrick drops a disc so heavy it gets performed at the Super Bowl, goes viral everywhere, and your big chess move is to say, your label let him hurt my feelings. That's an L on the court, and in the studio, you'd expect a rapper to snap back with harder bars, not with a stack of paperwork and a lawyer that tells you everything you need to know about where Drake's mental is at right now. He's not playing to win respect, he's just trying not to lose what little's left. But let's rewind a second and really see what that Super Bowl moment did. When Kendrick popped out and ran Not Like Us in front of all those billion eyes, the whole world watched Drake take a public L. This wasn't just a couple blog posts or rap Twitter running wild. This was the biggest platform on earth showing everybody how deep that cut was. Kendrick ain't just accused Drake of typical rap sins. He went after Aubrey's whole legacy, his authenticity, his circle, even the way he moves behind closed doors. And you could see it, bruh. Drake felt that. That performance wasn't just a creative victory. It legit made Drake go DEF-CON lawyer in less than a week. Now, if you peek back at all the subs, Drake versus Kendrick ain't just another routine rap beef. It's serious, it's surgical, it is not friendly competition anymore. Kendrick's Not Like Us wasn't just a diss, it was a dismantling, pulling out every skeleton, every secret, every reason folks been feeling off about Drake in the first place. And then you got Drake trying to clap back with the Hot Part 6. Like everybody ain't already seen him get bodied on one of the biggest stages possible. Instead of sticking toe-to-toe musically, my man runs to the courtroom. It's almost like he knows the music can't win for him no more. You ever seen a Titan fold this hard in real time? Come on, bro. This the same Drake that clapped back at Meek Mill with 2 classics in a week. Now he ducking behind lawsuits and crying foul over creative expression. Straight up, hip-hop ain't never seen this kind of Karen behavior. But even if you on the fence, peep what Drake is actually asking for in these papers. He out here prying into Kendrick's whole life, not just his business moves or professional stuff. Nah, Drake is trying to get info on Kendrick's family, his relationships, his catalog value, even his kids. He almost demanding DNA level receipts, y'all. For real, Aubrey wants these courts to expose every angle around Kendrick just so he can hold on to any scrap of leverage in the beef. Bruh, who does that? It's some super villain type plotting, but it just look weak. Instead of fighting for his spot, homie is trying to break into folks' families, talking about DNA and contracts like that's gonna refill his rapper card. That's a for real low that even the petty Olympics would call excessive. And the wildest part, Grammy ain't trying to give him that satisfaction. The label looking at Drake basically laughing, bro, this is hip hop. You supposed to battle with a pen, not a penal code. Universal saying this is exactly what the culture is supposed to be. Competition, not lawsuits. Every time Drake cries in court, he just making his own image smaller. Think about it. If he wins this, what does that even mean for everybody else? Every time somebody takes a jab on a diss track, we call the lawyers. Future beef's gonna sound like legal depositions, not fire verses. Drake got everybody in uncomfortable new territory, bruh. This isn't how the culture survives. It's how stuff gets sanitized, watered down, and flat out corny. Drake started at the top. He gonna lawyer his way straight out of the game. Let's make this real clear before we jump deeper. Drake's fight isn't just with Kendrick now. He fighting his own reflection. Cause if your main move after a public L is to ask a judge for help, that's not just weak. It's anti-rap to the core. Instead of upping his bars, Drake's trying to use paperwork and courtroom drama to silence the people who violate him musically. He tried to censor Pusha T in the past. Now he's mad he can't get Kendrick pressed the same way. That's wild. Bro is salty that the label protected one and not the other. But guess what? That protection didn't save him then, and it won't save him now. And this brings us to something crazier, fam. Drake's moves say more about his obsession with Kendrick than Kendrick ever did about him. It's almost stalker behavior. Drake kept tabs on Kendrick's circle, his old manager, Dave Free, his ex Whitney, even started asking about paternity and family tree business. Like, you would think he wants a scholarship to Kendrick Lamar University, the amount of extra credit work he put in trying to one up this man. Meanwhile, Kendrick just gotta drop one more subliminal or post a pic on the gram and a whole world talking. Drake gotta spend millions just to stay in the conversation, and that's embarrassing. Hey yo, pause right here. If you vibe with holding hip hop accountable and keeping the game pure, hit that like button right now. Drop a comment if you think Drake done lost the plot, or if you disagree, let me know, because I want to see where the real fans stand. Subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this breakdown, because what's coming next goes even deeper. Next up, I'm going to show you how this whole legal mess could change the music game for every upcoming rapper and creator out here, plus expose even more wild details about Drake's behind the scenes moves. Stay tuned, this just keeps getting crazier. So let's get right into how this Drake lawsuit shakes the entire industry. You got major labels, lawyers, and rappers all watching this dude trying to flip a rap beef into the courtroom drama. Like, this ain't what hip hop was built on. Kind of wild to think about. If Drake's little legal circus actually works, all these next gen rappers and even the OGs gonna start thinking twice before dropping any diss at all. Like, imagine coming up in the game trying to build some buzz, but every time you say something spicy about another rapper, you gotta check with your legal team. Bro, that's a nightmare. That's not rap, that's corporate. It's straight up sanitized. The only thing getting about it is honesty. The fans can feel that too, because when the rawness and the disrespect gets watered down, the bar for what's memorable drops. Nobody trying to hear a diss where you worried about Exhibit A in court the next day. That's a loss for the whole game. Think about the timeline of how we even got here, right? Kendrick been moving like a silent assassin, minding his business until Drake tried to paint him as the villain. Now, Drake took it to that next level. Beyond rap, beyond music. He want details on Kendrick's label deals, the value of classic albums like Good Kid, Massachusetts, AD City. Bro really trying to find cracks in paperwork, not in bars. Instead of coming back with a hard response, he digging through taxes and contracts, trying to find receipts that got nothing to do with the beef. And when that didn't give him the upper hand, he reaching for Kendrick's family ties, personal stuff no self-respecting rapper should be talking about in court documents. It's pathetic, point blank, and don't think the fans haven't noticed. Social media went nuts. People calling out Drake on Twitter, you name it. You even got folks who used to rock with him heavy saying this is one L too many. Every meme that dropped after that Super Bowl performance was a new page in Drake's obituary as a rap icon. Ain't nobody forgetting the day the so-called Six God switched from ghostwriting rumors to legal briefings. Even some industry heads like J. Cole been real careful not to get dragged into this drama. The silence says more than anything, really. The minute you see other rappers quietly moving away from you, it's a strong signal you became the guy everybody's embarrassed to co-sign. You don't need the headlines to tell you. It's written all over the culture. And look, as much as this whole situation makes Drake look like the final boss of Karen Energy, it could have played out way different if he handled his business like the old days. Let's keep it 100. Remember when Meek Mill tried to air out his ghostwriter situation? Drake didn't go call for any judge. Nah, he got in the studio and gave us Charged Up and Back to Back and flipped the narrative in less than a week. That's how you do it. That's how you stay respected. All this, let me see your legal documents, energy just screams desperation. If Drake put even half the effort he's putting into lawyers into the music, maybe, just maybe, he wouldn't be out here getting embarrassed in HD at the Super Bowl. But let's not get it twisted. Kendrick been surgical with the disrespect too. Not Like Us wasn't just bars. It was character assassination straight up. Kendrick laid out every insecurity Drake's tried to hide behind expensive fits and IG filters. He made the world see dude's cracks. That's a different breed of attack. And it's no wonder Drake couldn't answer the same way he always did. What's wild is Kendrick ain't even have to get super personal. He just made it plain for everybody to see that Drake's image got more filters than a bag of Instagram models. And once you strip the hype away, all that's left is a dude who can't fight back except with paperwork. Now, think about how this kind of move changes the scene forever. Kids in the trenches watching and getting inspired to take shots at the big dogs, but if the response to getting violated on a record is to run to mom and call the principal, yo, it's gonna kill the next generation of raw energy from the jump. Kids gonna start hiding behind PR teams and hoping their managers keep them safe instead of learning to stand on their bars. We're gonna end up with a rap scene where the safest, most calculated artist gets rewarded and anyone trying to shake things up gets blackballed before they even got momentum. Who want that? Who needs that? That's a dystopia for real. It's not just young rappers either. Old heads, the pioneers, they all built careers on pressing each other and going bar for bar, not suing if the battle bruised the ego. That back and forth is exactly what kept hip hop alive for 5 decades. Egos get checked, rep gets tested, and the fans get to eat good listening to classics being made. But now, Drake want to turn his drama into a Discovery Channel special. Watch as the king of Toronto tries to catch his rival slipping with subpoenas. That's anti-hip hop. You look at legends like Jay-Z, Nas, even Pusha T, they grew stronger after beefs, whether they took W's or L's, because they kept it artistic. That's what legends do. And let's not gloss over how Drake been trying to drag everybody down with him. I ain't just talking Kendrick. He wanted the courts to look into Dave Free, Whitney Alford, Pusha T, anybody who ever threw shade or held Kendrick down on a track. Drake want dirt on all of them, not to win a rap beef, but so he got something to throw in a lawyer's face later. Whole energy is off. You can't build a castle on bad faith and think it'll last. The moment the paperwork outweighs the pen, you know something rotten happening in the game. This is the first time fans are really asking themselves if Aubrey even about that rap life anymore, or if he just scared of competition that can't be silenced by a quick call to the label. All this desperation, let's call it what it is, doesn't just affect Drake's legacy, but everybody who ever gets caught in the crossfire after this. Imagine if Kendrick turned around and sued for emotional damage off of this verse. This whole genre would look like daytime court TV, not the street poetry it started as. It's an L so big it echoes off the block all the way to the top floors of the industry. Drake's putting a target on artistic freedom, making it possible for angry millionaires to silence the hungry underdogs that hip-hop was created for. He became the boogeyman for every creative with something real to say. Now, to be real honest, he could have had it so much easier. He could have flipped the script with just one undeniable track, picked the right beat, tossed some clever punches, reminded fans why they loved him in the first place. That's the magic formula. But instead, bro swimming upstream against his own narrative and losing to a system he decided to weaponize. You don't rebuild your standing with more lawyers, more secrets, more dirt all out in public. That just makes it worse. If your next move after you take an L is, let's get the courts involved, just know everything you built as a rapper is never gonna hit the same again. You turn the spirit of hip hop into a contract dispute. That's an irreversible L. And what about the future? If Drake keeps flailing and this becomes some regular thing anytime there's beef, it's only a matter of time before the actual music gets forgotten altogether. Who even wins if battles get decided by who got the best legal team instead of who got the best lyrics? You give too much power to the people who ain't been in a cypher a day in their life. Rap, at the end of the day, is supposed to be dangerous, gritty, and a little messy, not HR friendly and mediated by corporate suits. The second the smoke gets regulated, that's the death of real competition and real storytelling. Fans will feel it, and they already do. People not bumping the Drake-Kendrick saga for the paperwork. They want the energy, the excitement, the unpredictable moments, the soundtrack to our lives. Drake's moves risk throwing all that out the window just so he don't gotta wear the L himself. Before anyone tries to defend him, saying it's just business, let's keep it clear. There's a line between protecting your money and running from your culture. Hip-hop been about taking risks, getting your feelings bruised, and leveling up after. You start snitching and tattling, culture don't ride for you no more. Drake broke the oldest code. Even if you think bro was justified or whatever, just imagine your favorite MCs going down this route. It's a future where no bars really connect. Nobody presses you enough to change the way you rap, and every beef ends up dead on arrival because one side too scared to keep it musical. Hip-hop gotta stay hip-hop. That's what the whole community's standing on. We need those lines in the sand. Either you about this rap life or you not. No more in between. Now y'all know I gotta ask, where you stand on all this? Is Drake right, or is this the worst L he's ever caught in a career full of them? Drop a comment and let me know if you still riding for the 6, or if Kendrick's the last real one left standing. Smash that subscribe if you want the true straight with no filter and no industry spin. I'm always gonna keep it 100 on this channel, cause we here to protect the core of hip hop, no matter how many so-called legends go sideways. Don't be a stranger in the comments. I wanna hear all sides. We got way more heat coming too. Next video, I'll break down exactly how Kendrick flipped the Super Bowl stage into a legendary duddu, the behind-the-scenes industry moves nobody's reporting on, and what young artists need to watch out for so they don't end up another corporate casualty like Aubrey. Stay safe, stay tapped in, and remember, the game don't stop for no Karen energy. Catch y'all in the next one.